Good morning students. Once again I welcome you all in this online class of biology. Students, in the previous classes we have discussed about the tissues, what is a tissue, the division of labor, the importance of tissue, as well as we have started with the types of tissues, that is permanent one and the meristematic one. Meristematic one we have discussed, its subtypes we have discussed, that is apical, lateral and intercalary. And then we have started with the permanent tissues. The simple permanent tissues we have discussed, right? So now today we are going to discuss about the epidermis. Yes. Now what is an epidermis? Activity is given here, that is there in the book also. Just go through that activity. And when we observe these leaves under the microscope, we see that a protective layer is seen whose main function is to protect plant from excess hot or cold and infection. This protective layer is epidermis. It is made up of single layer of cells. They are flat with no intercellular spaces. This layer is epidermis. Its outer and side walls, they are thicker than the inner wall. Now in plants of dry habitats, this epidermis is thick. Can you tell me why? Yes, it is thick to prevent the water loss, and it has thick waxy layer of cutin. Right. Now in the aerial parts of plants, the epidermis, it secretes a cuticle, a waxy water resistant layer which is made up of cutin again. And on the outer surface, this cuticle, it prevents the loss of water, mechanical injury and invasion by the other parasites. So this is the main epidermis, the simple single thin layer which is found all over the plant. Now the structure of epidermis, the main parts and the functions they are given. The very first part, the structure is the layer of cells covering the surface of entire plant. Like we have the skin, same way the plant has the epidermis. And the function is it acts as a barrier to microorganisms and the pathogens. Like our skin protects the internal organs. Next, the layer, it is very thin and transparent. And what is the function? Why it is transparent and very thin? Because its function is to allow the light to pass through photosynthesis in the tissues below. Right, that's why the layer is very thin and transparent. See students, I am telling you the reason also why the structure is like that. Okay, so keep it in your mind. The third type of structure found, that is in epidermis, is the epidermal tissues. They have tiny hairs projecting from the surface. Like we have these hairs on skin. So epidermis is also having tiny hairs projecting from the surface of epidermis. And these trichomes, they are abundant in some plant leaves. Now its function is, these leaf trichomes, they trap water to prevent water loss. This is the function of these hairs. Next, the root hairs, they are elongations of epidermal cells in the roots. You must have seen roots, the hairs are there, fine. So they are the elongations of epidermal cells only, and their function is they increase the surface area from absorption of water. That you already know the work of root hair, right? They increase the absorption area as villi do in our intestine, right? Now the next is epidermal tissues in leaves. They are covered with the waxy cuticle. Just now I told you the waxy cuticle, and this waxy cuticle, it prevents the water loss. Even if you take a simple leaf and apply the Vaseline on it, you will see it will last longer in comparison to a leaf which will be kept normally without Vaseline. Why? Because Vaseline gives a waxy coating, and that waxy coating prevents the moisture, the loss of moisture. Same thing the cuticle is doing here. It is also waxy and it also prevents the water loss. Next, some epidermal cells, they secrete the poisonous or bad tasting substances. Now the function for this should be, yes, this bitter taste of substances to prevent grazing by the animals. So you must have seen the animals, they don't eat all the plants, right? They see, they select, and if you offer all the plants, they don't eat, right? They don't graze for all the plants. So the reason being, they secrete some bad substances like the poisonous ones so that the animals won't eat them. Right, students? Now the next thing which I want to discuss today is the stomata. Epidermis, I hope it's clear. Now stomata, you have already having the previous knowledge about stomata. You know, now stomata, where are they present? On the epidermis. The epidermis of leaf, it has pores which are stomata surrounded by two kidney shaped guard cells. Right, you already know that. The function also you know, the exchange of gases, the transpiration, that is loss of excess water. These are the functions of stomata. You know that already, I need not to tell you, right? Still I am simply revising. And in the live class again we will discuss about this epidermis and stomata. And the third thing is the cork. What is a cork? It is protective in nature, strong, protective in nature. It prevents loss of water from the plant and injury. As it does not catch fire easily and it is light, it is used as insulator and in sports goods. Right, the cricket and all, they are using the cork part of the plants because it is very strong. It does not catches fire easily and it does not the loss of water also is not there because it is protective in nature. Okay, so these are the three things which we have discussed today, that is the epidermis, the stomata and the cork. I hope they are all clear. If not, in live class again we will discuss about these. Just go through about these topics in your book and keep on revising the previous ones also. Till the next time, thank you and have a great day.